When I made this brand, I didn't set out to be like, I'm going to create something that's going to be worth $1 billion. I was more like, I want to create something that's going to make my friends laugh.
Liquid death, mountain water.
Most people get the humor instantly. We saw that all the unhealthy brands in the world of marketing were doing all the coolest, funniest, most irreverent marketing. So we thought it would be interesting to take the healthiest thing you can possibly drink, which is water, and one up the marketing of all the unhealthy stuff.
This is Mike Cesario, and he started Liquid Death as an experiment.
I knew that I had to basically test the idea to prove that it was viable.
For less than $5,000, he successfully launched the brand, and within months became more popular than billion-dollar water companies. And he didn't even have a product yet.
I think that's sort of when we knew, that we tapped into something.
You just started your dream business. How much profit would you need to pay your basic living expenses like rent and ramen? This is a show on the economics of entrepreneurship and founders turning their dreams into reality. This is Ramen Profitable.
Mike Cesario is an ex-creative director for brands such as Netflix, Nestle, and Apple. But for an ad man, he's got an unlikely opinion of the work.
I just hate marketing. Like, all of it's so terrible. I never totally fit like the corporate advertising world. I always wanted to do really interesting, cool things, but most clients do not want to do interesting, cool things.
So Mike decided to create his own product, a sustainable canned water company called Liquid Death that would be marketed on the same level as unhealthy beverages.
Part of the reason it's called Liquid Death is because we're trying to bring death to plastic bottles, because most plastic isn't actually recyclable. So we designed a can, we shot a $1,500 funny video, and we made a Facebook page, put a couple $1,000s in paid media just to kind of spark the fire. 4 months later, the video's got 3 million views. The page has more followers than Aquafina. We did better with social media with $3,000 than how much did they spend to get to where they got. We had something that maybe was magic. We used all of that to then actually go raise a small round of funding to actually make the product.
In January of 2019, they sold their first can online, and almost immediately they were selling out on Amazon and their website. But Mike realized there was a problem.
The internet is tough in terms of business model because beverages are heavy, and heavy stuff is expensive to ship. It ultimately needs to go to retail. Like when someone's thirsty, they're not gonna log on the internet and wait 5 days to get that water. It's like, no, you wanna be able to go into a store and buy it.
Selling water called Liquid Death to retailers turned out to be pretty hard.
The name always makes people nervous, especially like retail buyers. Liquid Death, like, I don't know, like they're just not used to anything that's not Coke or Pepsi.
But one area they found success in was bars and clubs.
There were bars that were like, yeah, this is never gonna work. I've never sold a bottle of water in here. We've tried. Cut to a month later, they're like, oh, I move through 5 cases a week of this.
Whole Foods was like the first major breakthrough for Liquid Death. Like that's what really propelled the brand.
They saw Liquid Death and they're like, we don't have anything else in our store like this. You know, the fact that it's infinitely recyclable and we give 10% of the profits to help clean up plastic from the ocean. We're getting into Target now, Publix, Albertsons, Safeway. I mean, the floodgates have sort of opened.
And that's about it. This is my friend, Mr. Duck. He guards the van when I leave. He never lets up. His eyes are actually always open too. It's pretty impressive. How's everything going, Jerry? You good?
In beverage, velocity is one of the most important metrics. And that's basically how quickly are people pulling it off the shelf.
Higher velocity means more stores and more shelf space.
It does get capital intensive in retail, which is why it's really hard to beat the big guys as a small upcoming brand. But like in a category where the playing field is very level in terms of the liquid, it's all about brand at that point.
Join us and Liquid Death in our mission to bring death to plastic bottles.
What we do, like it seems like, oh, they're just edgy, but it's actually like, it's a very fine line that we walk where 5 degrees this way, it's totally lame, it's not cool, it's not funny. 5 degrees this way, it's too distasteful and people just won't react to it or laugh at it. our only chance at survival is to be able to punch way above our weight when it comes to like an awareness and marketing standpoint. If we just get our cans in people's hands and a couple people talk to them just because they're walking around with it, that's way easier to get them as a fan versus blowing $1 million on a TV commercial. To come up with truly innovative ideas, you basically have to trick your brain to do something that it thinks is a bad idea. Your brain is so programmed to do the things it's seen 1 million times before that most of the ideas you come up with, like, it's already been done 1 million times, or it's not actually innovative because it makes too much sense. Almost always, some of the best ideas come from unexpected places.
Liquid Death is now the most popular water brand on social media, and its cans are now carried in 16,000 locations throughout the US. And for Mike, entrepreneurship was giving him the creative autonomy he had always dreamed of.
The thing that I've always wanted to do is just put my money where my mouth is. In those boardrooms where I had to try to convince big companies to do the cool thing that they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. Now it's all on me. Like, there's no one stopping us from doing like world-changing marketing. Like, we can do whatever we want. It's up to us.
I mean, I have people like when I'm driving, like ask me to roll down my window, do you have any shirts? I mean, ideally I would like to, throw one through their window, but that's not good. Can't be doing that.